welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I'm going to be making the first in my winter inspired soap. So I'm in autumn now when I'm filming this, and I've got to think a season ahead. So winter, Christmas, all those things, that's what I'm kind of in my mind starting to formulate. So today the fragrance I'm going to be using is Cranberry Balsam from Nature's Garden. This smells really beautiful. It's very fresh smelling. I think it's wonderful. I have never soaped with this before, but it got good reviews, that it didn't cause any trouble with acceleration or separation, but it does have some vanillin. It says that it discolors to a light tan. That's okay. I might add a little TD in the uncolored portion. I'm still thinking on that. But for the in the body colors, let's talk about what we're going to do. So I'm thinking cranberry and balsam, which is a kind of evergreen, I think, yes. So for the cranberry, I'm going to use Trial by Fire Nurture Soap. You can't go wrong. If you're looking for a red, do yourself a favor and get some of this. It is such a beautiful red color. So that's going to be my cranberry red. And for the green, to be the balsam, I have my evergreen mica from Brambleberry. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful green. So evergreen, Trial by Fire, Christmas colors, winter colors, that's what we're doing. I think I'm just going to do like a swirl in the body, and I haven't decided on top. I will probably do some piping, maybe little red dollops to represent cranberries and some leaves. I'm still thinking on that. So I'll know. By the time I pull all my ingredients out and get everything ready, I'll have a formulated plan in action, and you'll come along with me. This is going to be an aloe vera soap. I just thought it sounded good and I wanted to do aloe. I was thinking evergreens, and you know, that's what spoke to me. So aloe vera is going to be the lye solution today. Let me get everything pulled together and we will come back and make our winter inspired cranberry and balsam soap. All right, we're back, and here are all the oils and butters, and it's soap additives time. But first, let me show you the piping tips that I have. I have a leaf tip that we're going to use, and just an open hole that I'm going to make little dollops for cranberries. So those are all off to the side. And I have my colors, I'll show you, dispersed in a little bit of distilled water here, ready to get mixed. Aren't those just gorgeous? It gets me in the holiday spirit just looking at them. So I'll have to save off a little of each of those for the piping on the top. But for now, let's get the dry ingredients in here, blend it in so they can sit for a bit. Here is the colloidal oats. And I get asked, this is a 2 tablespoon measure, by the way. So one of the things with dry ingredients is a nice rule of thumb is 1 teaspoon per pound of oils is a good thing to shoot for. You can go a little heavier, a little less. I've made double oats soaps before, like my oatmeal stout. I put double oats in there. It's fabulous. So it's a loosey-goosey kind of a thing. You can overload, but I've never reached that point yet. So that's a 2 tablespoon measure. I just really like how it feels. I get asked, why do you put all the additives in? I just love it. And it's my signature move, so that's what we're doing. So here's the kale and clay. Clay gives a nice slip to the bar. It's a glidey feel in your soap. I think it's great for your skin, so that's why I put my additives in there. We're going to get these blended and let them really absorb into the oils, and then we'll come back when the lye solution is cooled and ready to go. We're back, and my lye solution is all cooled. So what I've got in here is aloe vera juice and distilled water, a 50-50 split. I dissolved some cane sugar in there, and sugar is a lather booster and a bubble booster, so that's why I put sugar in. There's Tussa silk fibers because it really gives a silky feel, and I just love it in my soap. And some sodium lactate at a rate of 1 teaspoon per pound of oils, and that helps harden the bar faster so you can unmold with a nice smoother unmolding process. That's what the sodium lactate is for. All of these additives are not necessary, including the dry ingredients I put in here. If you don't want them, you can just do oils and lye, but I can't resist. I love all the little extra bells and whistles, so I put them in there, but they are not necessary. And if you don't like any of those for some reason, feel free to leave them out. The additives are not part of your soap calculations. Also, when you're making a recipe with your oils and lye, the additives are extra, so you don't need to worry if you remove them or add them. That's all just personal preference. All right, enough said on that. I have the fragrance already in here, and so I'm just going to proceed slowly and get into my colors, and we'll do the hanger swirl, and you know the drill, all the good stuff. Let's get to it. been about 24 hours and I am so delighted. Now, I will tell you though, when you're doing red swirls and you swirl a little, it can get a little pinkish, but I'm okay with that. I just think this top is beautiful and happy. And even though it pinked up a little because I over swirled it, I'm just delighted. I think the body of this is going to be fine. I don't think we're going to have pink swirls inside, but there's only one way to find out. Let's get in here and see what we've got going on. Back with the lovely Olga, and I get asked a lot what the spacing on my cutter is. These are 1 1/4 inch, so 1.25 is the spacing that I cut my bars at, just for those of you who were curious about that. Look at it, I'm so happy. All right, let's see what those swirls are doing for us on the inside here. Getting me in the winter sort of inspiration spirit here. I love winter, I love fall. Oh, pretty. Just so happy. And it didn't pink up too much with the swirls on the inside, so that is a plus. Very happy about that also. Yeah, that is something you have to watch out with red swirls. If you swirl too much, you get pink. So, just a word of caution to all you soapers out there. Oh, I think we're going to have some soap patterns too. Let me pull one out here. Let's see what we've got, just because I can't wait till it's all said and done. All right, there we go. There's the top. So cute. And ta-da! Oh, look at that. Oh, that's fun. All right, we'll definitely do soapy patterns at the end. Let me keep cutting and get on to the next loaf here. Okay, let's get into the middle loaf. And let me talk about this Cranberry Balsam fragrance. It soaped really well. It wasn't super slow to trace. It wasn't super fast. It was just a nice, stable mover, which is perfectly great. And I didn't have to wait too long for the soap to come up to frosting consistency. So that is all a plus. It smells really, really good today. And the reviews, it'll just get better after it cures. It's supposed to have a good scent retention. It is a little soft, but not bad. And you know what? Some people don't like a really powerful soap fragrance. So it's definitely there. It's definitely a lovely scent, but it's not like in your face. It's just wonderful. I am tickled with these swirls, by the way. So I would love to hear what your favorite holiday fragrances are. Just whether you're a soaper or not, when you go to the store, what do you like? Do you like cinnamons? Do you like pine or woodsy around the holidays? What are your favorite scents? I would love to hear that. I like them all. I really like the foodie ones, the sort of clovey orange, like potpourri. I also love pine, anything that's woodsy and piney. I love that. Love frankincense and myrrh. That's a classic. It's a little medicinal smelling, but I love it. So anyway, I am definitely going to have some soapy patterns to show you all. And thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that subscribe button, bell for notifications. I'm over on Instagram. You know the drill. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I hope you have a wonderful day.